down on his luck. His pockets are near empty. He's sleeping in his truck. The rodeo next Friday. His bills are past due. How we pay for entries, he ain't got a clue. He's a cowboy. It's his turn to ride. He prays for 8 seconds when they shout outside. His future is uncertain. His past he can't forget. He's just a hard luck cowboy. Life hasn't broken yet. Whoa.
Right now, welcome back to the Horsemanship. Apologize for not having videos here lately, but as you can see, it's been pretty muddy around here, and my beloved cameraman's only got the weekends off, so usually when she's off it's raining or something. So what we're doing, I love to got this film when I started. Rafaela, me and Ray agreed way back when that we'll purposely hold off doing any flag work with her, because what I wanted to show is you might have a horse that can do this or that, but to me it's still not finished, because if you take something like flag to her, they'll get bonkers. And also, why I like using a flag, it will tell me a lot about a horse personality when I first take that flag to them. If they calm down real quick, or in her case, believe it or not, she's had this flag work quite a bit last couple of weeks, but when I first take it to her, she's still liable to strike at it, and I'm hoping she does. So when you do start something like that, like this flag work, the best thing I can tell you, number one, don't quit, and it takes as long as it takes. Now, where people get sort of messed up in it is when they do the flag work and all of a sudden the horse stops and stops reacting to the flag, and then what they do, they stop doing the flag. Well, that's where you need to take the next step and keep up with that flag. Like Lily, he's just go back in training. I can take that flag right to him and he just stands there like a champ. It doesn't bother him. I put him all over him. But that's because I spent time and really got him down to that. His next thing would be going out the obstacle course. Now with her, the funny thing about it, you would never thought she would react to the flag the way she did at the start. And like I said earlier, I wish I got video of it, because she tried to kill it. She was up in the air. She did some cutting horse moves that was just pretty as a picture. But here's a horse that I can grab a log and canter around this arena and she won't spook. I do my pole thing with her. I take her to the obstacle course, and like with these flowers and this and that, and nothing bothers her. But when she sees that flag, and like I said, I'm hoping she'll overreact today, because, you know, what good is me videoing if she don't overreact? But but one thing I can tell you, to get where we're at now, me and Ray both put a lot of time with this flag. And I mean, a lot of time. And with knowing her personality now, on a lot of stuff, when I'm trying to work with new things and introduce new things to her, she's hard-headed and really, she's a strong horse. I'm not going to say a strong mare or what, but she is a strong, opinionated horse. So it takes a long time to get anything through her head. Now, if I did the flag at the beginning, I would have seen that. Of course, I've already seen it because she's been here for a while. But I would have seen it right off the bat. So with her overreacting with the flag, number one, I'm not just going to grab my whip here. Now right there, she went in automatic mode. Because Ray does it. I don't really work her much in hand anymore, but Ray will. So, you know, automatically she thought she was going to get worked in hand. And a lot of people, to get rid of that energy, to make this training session better, would do that to get her focused. But she's already focused on me. So anyway, what I was saying before she went into automatic mode, with a horse like her, and when I ever introduce a flag for the first time, I'll always make sure that horse is far enough away from me. And I never position myself, especially at the, right now I might get a little bit in front of that shoulder, but I'll never position myself on that front end where that flag is between me and that horse, because she probably won't do it now. But like beginning, if I did that, I would have probably went and had to go see Dr. Love, my dentist, and get some brand new teeth again. And we can't afford that. So, yeah, I'm just gonna not get in a hurry. Like I said, she's already reacting to it. But the reason, and I like Arena Whip better, and this mare's seen this flag a lot. So, you know, she's still, so what my objective is right now with her is that first day, it took me and Ray an hour and a half just to get that. And this is where it's really important. Like her, she respects my body space. So right, that one spot. But I'm going to keep this flag in front of her. I'm not going to remove it. That's why it's important to use the long line on this. So what I'm going to do, that's why I like a long whip, and not like sorry to say, I like a Arena Whip better, because this is a little bit longer than a lunge whip. But that way I can keep this flag in front of her. Because I don't want her to realize she can run away from it. Where she's at, this flag's going to be there. And also, here's another thing. Me and Ray's been doing this in the round pen, and she's been getting pretty good. But now we're doing it, we're moving it up to the arena, so it's a different area. But I'm making sure my position, like I said earlier, is never between the front of her where she's coming at me directly and that flag. Right there, she's starting to look at it, so I'm going to just leave it there for a minute. Right now, I guarantee you she's focused on the little one. You'll see it. Yep, he's on the back of the hill. So what I will do, instead of moving it over this way, I'm just going to back up with it and move it. I'm going to back up and move it. So now I'm going to flip it again, but I'm going to flip it a little bit closer to her left front foot, and then I'm going to pull it. Then we'll pull it. Right there, she wants to smell it. I'm going to let her smell it. When she starts getting in that inquisitive part, start looking at it, I'm going to stop and let her look. That's why you got to just slow down, take your time, and not get in a hurry. And like I said earlier, something like this, it takes as long as it takes, because like I said, this mare's had this flag to her a lot. I mean, any other mare, good. But I'm not going to move to her right side front until I get this left side front. Some people say, well, you need to go back and forth. Well, I need a starting point. I need a point where she's not reacting to it negative. So if I keep switching back and forth too soon, she's going to keep acting negative both sides. Sorry I'm not looking at a camera, but right now I got to keep focus on her and where we're at. Because, you know, that old adage, well, information doesn't go to one side of the brain. Well, it does, people. So we just keep doing it. Now, at the beginning, if I remove this flag every time she got negative, and right now I'm going to let it sit there for a minute. There. I'm just moving in front of her nose. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, if I remove this flag every time she acted negative, she still would be acting negative. She'd be still striking at it, because what I would have been teaching her, that every time she acts negative, that thing that worries her is out of the way. Some people start on the hind end. I prefer to start on the front end, because what happens is, like she saw her at first, she was going back and forth trying to evade the flag. So instead of even trying to bother the hind end, if I can control that front end first, it's going to be easier for me to get to that hind end, because it's harder for me. I keep flipping that flag at her hind end, she's going to keep running around in circles. But using her front, I can. Now I went real big right then. What I meant is, when I took it over her head, I really flipped it high. I didn't let it hit her. I just took it as high as basically as that whip come down. And then as time goes on, now right there I dropped it a little bit, and then I'll go back high. I drop it a little bit, then I go back high. And even right now, I don't know how the camera angle is. At times it might look like I'm in front of her, but I'm looking at her shoulder. I'm trying to position myself on her shoulder. Now right there is a good example is why I really get my horses focused on my body. Because even though she was worried about this flag, I can make myself bigger and she backed out of my space. So we just keep doing this. But now I'll go back and forth, because earlier she finally got comfortable with it here on the ground. So at some point I'm going to go back where she was comfortable at. And I'm still riding her, but like I told Ray, I will not quit with this flag until I can pull her out and she doesn't react at all. And when I say react at all, I don't want to see no head bobbing. I don't want to see really no ears moving. I want her just to stand there. Now the inside ear to the flag, that I don't care if that's moving, because she's just hearing the flag. Like right now, that ear is on that flag. And like I said, when she wants to look at it, I'm going to make dang sure I stop and let her look at it. If I get her to track it, like right there she's tracking it. Get myself out of the mud. So now I'm going to pop it to the back, let it sit. But I'm not just going right to her foot yet. We'll pop it to the back and let it sit. Pop it to the back. And some people even say, well, just start throwing the bag over top of them first. Well, if I do that, she will run into me, because the bag, I'm over here, the bag's going to be on that side of her, and she's going to come this way. Oh, that's a lot better. Yeah, the other day, me and Ray started, because I told him, until I can get it where I'm really comfortable on that front end, I'm not going to the back. So we just did start doing the back feet, and she was kicking at it the other day, and today she's not. So in some respects, when we move to the next step, she's picking it up quicker. But my whole thing...
I have a question, but be safe.
Huh?
I said I have a question, but be safe.
Well, go ahead.
Is it fear? Is it insecurity? Or is it her being so opinionated she doesn't want to give in? Because little one, I mean, it didn't take an hour. With
Actually, it's all of it.
Okay. You might repeat it. They probably didn't hear it.
Cindy asked me if it's fear,
Insecurity?
insecurities, or opinionated, because she's a strong horse. It's all of the above.
Okay.
Because she's scared of it, but she's so hard, strong horse that she's not going to give into it real easy. So in other words, let's say if I didn't do this and she ever got hung up in something, she's going to be hurt.
Or if you're on the trail and she sees something.
Yeah, if you're on the trail, she gets hung up. Instead of giving to that pressure, she's just going to panic, and she will end up breaking a leg or something. So, that's when and you've seen some of them, when I get emails, oh, poor horsey in the flag. Horse like this flag could save her life. And that's where we've come to. And one day I told Cindy, one day we need to have a sit down, and I actually get her in front of the camera, and we'll go through a bunch of emails. She's back there shaking her head. Well, you got to read the emails. and will answer a lot of them. And like I said earlier, my objective at this point, the days I bring the flag out, is because I know I'm gonna set her up and me to succeed. Right now she's fine. She's little, but she's not going nowhere. But I know horses, and I know what she's going to do, and I know this horse. But anyhow, I want to set this horse up to succeed and me to succeed. So when I come out, like we first started and she was acting negative, you didn't see me go bonkers, because like I said, me and Ray spent hours with this horse with this flag. But I never got upset. It's like, well, okay. And I'm going to reiterate what I said earlier. That's my whole point I'm getting to. Is my objective is, when I come back in here the next time, is I want her to calm down quicker. Because if I came up here and in here and got upset when she started being herself there, it's going to fall apart. Because I'm going to get mad, she's going to see it, because my body posture is going to change. But all along, until I had to, if you go back and review this video, you're going to see my shoulders dropped, and I'm standing here like, unless I want her to see me. Then you watch my body posture, I change. So I'm going to move it again. Oh, that's good. Right there. And I hope it shows up on camera, and I hope Cindy saw it. But you saw how her eye right then, she got focused on me, and she said, please let me come in. So when I'm working horses, you know, and I've said this before in the past about licking the lips. I'm not really, that's the least little bit of sign I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is their body posture, not just licking the lips, because she can lick them lips up with that head up in the air. She's done it with this flag. Like right there, that's a negative reaction. Every time so, you know, I just want, good. That head bobbing and everything, that's a negative reaction. I don't want any reaction at the end by the time we get done with this flag. Not today, but by the time we get done with it. Now the positive thing, the way she is on this flag, if I ever got serious about start putting her on a cow, she'd end up cutting them pretty as a picture. I mean, she'd probably give any quarter horse a hard time on it, because she focuses so much on that flag and that movement. There. See right there what I did? I cheated. I picked up my whip like I was fixing to move it, and she started bopping that head, so I left it. I'm gonna wait. And you see her head position right now? It's up in the air. And this is, with her, it's going to be a long, slow process. Good, right there. I really would like her to lower her head. But what she did, she looked over to her left and didn't pay any attention to the flag. So right then, I went ahead and removed it then. There. Oop. Now, this time, she didn't react until the flag was way over here. So we're going back, like I said, go back, do something else for a while. We're going to do the other hind foot. Now, if she kicks at it, I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to remove it. The worst thing I can do is to remove that flag when she's kicking. Because like I said earlier, if I remove this flag at any time she's acting negative, I'm going to reinforce and teach her them negatives. Now right there you see her mouth, that's not relaxation. Right now that's anxiety coming out. She wants to do something, but she's finally starting to get it a little bit. So instead of acting negative, she's going to do something to get rid of that anxiety, like I just did. Because you got to realize when you first start this, and horses, especially like her, she's got to get rid of that anxiety somewhere. Like one day we had her in a round pen, and poor old Bronco Sioux hat company sign back there, banner. She just, because I was working on Liberty with a plastic bag, and she finally figured out she couldn't get away from me, even in Liberty. So she'd grab old Bronco Sioux and just, and that was getting rid of that anxiety. So I didn't correct her. And funny thing about it, it got to the point where Bronco Sioux was her bait, was her safety net, because she figured out every time she'd get to Bronco Sioux, she'd stand there and I'd take that pressure off of her. So she'd get where she's just going to Bronco Sioux and just stand there. Walk up. Good girl. And you know, there's times with that flag there, I want her to move. Also, I just don't want her to stand there all the time with this flag just there. But that's where we start. So with her, it's going to be a long process. And believe me, if y'all saw the start, she's came a long way with it. I mean, and we can, but I'm not even going to deal with round pen because we just got a bunch of rain last night or the day before. I don't know.
Every day.
Yeah, about every day. So I'm not even going to bother with the round pen. That could be in the future. So my objective with her, just to get it out there, and I've done it in here, is get her off the line and her stand there without a lead line on and stand. Now after I work her a few minutes, she will do that in a round pen. And I started like trying to do it in here, and she will a little bit, and then, you know, she'll realize she can move. But I just keep doing the same thing, just irritate her. And eventually she'll come back to me while I got the flag. So key thing when you're doing this, don't get lazy and stop too soon. When that horse looks like it's got it, go that next step. The first thing, be safe. Make sure, like I said earlier, never get that flag in between you and that horse, especially at the start. Because what she did at the beginning, believe me, it was about 10 times worse. So it kept me right, well actually Ray, he went on the outside of the pen. He let me deal with it. You know, which is fine, that's my job. And like I said, the second thing is, when it seems like they got it, go that next step. And on time frame, don't get worried about your time frame, people. Every horse is different. I had some horses, hell, I had one Mustang came off the range. I took plastic bag to him like that, and he just looked at me like, you're kidding. What's the big deal about it? I don't care. Matter of fact, that horse, after a month, I told the owner to come get him and just ride him on the trail because his feet were so sticky, I couldn't teach him anything. And I wasn't going to beat the hell out of the horse, pardon my language, to get him moving. But anyway, like I said, just take your time. Don't worry about it. And most of my videos, I try to focus on y'all to think of the positive. Like today. Yeah, she started out negative, but she came down to me pretty quick, and then she, did pretty good at the end. She started tracking it, following it, which is great, and we'll keep up with it until, with her, I'm gonna probably go over the top where I could probably follow her just with that darn plastic, lead her with that plastic bag. So, with that, I hope y'all get something out of it. And I always say, be true to the horse, they'll be true to you. To my kids, my grandkids, special person out there, Washington Lake, God bless, take care.